So I'm here with Charlie Moore and Siobhán Fitzpatrick from Team GB after a huge win against Germany in the semi-finals yesterday. A win that not only puts them into the finals on Friday against the Netherlands, but takes them to Paris 2024 for the Paralympics. So we're going to have a chat to them, see how they're feeling. Pretty good, I imagine. So Charlie, Siobhán, wow, that performance yesterday was just incredible. How are you feeling?
Yeah, absolutely buzzing. After yesterday, playing Germany is always such a physical and challenging game, and I think we just came out absolutely firing, knowing that they would as well. Like, obviously, everyone wanted to win that game, and I think it was just a 40-minute, very high, intense game full of physicality and also highs and lows, like emotionally, throughout the game.
So it was just fantastic. A team of 12 out there to succeed and get that ticket to Paris. I think we've gone through highs and lows over the last few months with this GB women's team, and right now we're in the best place we could ever be on and off the court. And I think that really showed yesterday that no matter whether we were up, whether we were down, whether things were going well or not so well, we just rode it out and we got a huge win over Germany. I think that's the most convincing game we've ever had against them, and just an amazing feeling.
And so Germany were the team that you lost to in your opening game. Was that obviously in the back of your minds as you went back into that game yesterday?
Personally, no. They were our first game of the tournament, and although the game didn't go our way, we had so many positives to take away from that game that there was no doubt in my mind that we were going into that game with nothing but confidence. And I think that's what we did, and that's how we are as a team, is that we always will bounce back and we'll come back harder.
Yeah, 5-point loss in our first game was absolutely nothing. It's literally 3 baskets, then take that win. And we knew that we weren't playing the best basketball. We knew that we'd grow throughout the tournament, and that's definitely what we did. We had a phenomenal performance yesterday, and hopefully we can do one more tomorrow.
They dropped 48 points on you in that first game, and yesterday you held them to 34. And as you said, defensively, it was just incredible. So the first quarter you were down 3, and then after that, you just didn't let them score. Like, how did you cope with that turnaround? You're down after that first quarter, and then it just switched. What changed?
I think we knew the first quarter is always a really tough quarter. Germany is a strong team. They're by no means a walkover, and they have great shooters and great players on that team. So it's always about just kind of riding the wave. Like, they're a good team, they're going to score. And we just, they scored and we came back and then we scored. So I think it was just keeping positive throughout that, riding that bit, and then just building momentum for ourselves and then focusing on that throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, and I think that we really stuck to our game plan. I think Miguel and Jorge had put together a fantastic game plan and adjusted throughout each game that we played throughout this tournament. And we knew that Mariah Camilla, one of their key players of the German setup, a phenomenal physical player. If we could shut her out, then Germany would then struggle to be an offensive threat. And shout out to Maddie Martin. She made her life hell for 30 minutes that she played yesterday. But yeah, the girls did a fantastic job and stuck to the game plan.
Maddie was incredible yesterday. And I'm just looking at the stats from yesterday as well. So Germany scored 7 field goals in that first quarter, and then you held them to 9 for the rest of the game. Like, that's just unreal.
Honestly, absolutely insane. Like, I think it's even you saying that now gives me goosebumps. Like, I'm so proud of this team, because for what we've achieved yesterday and what we've achieved over the last few weeks together after coming out of a disappointment from the World Championships has just been phenomenal. And the fact that we've held a top European team to that many points in the second half just shows how strong we are and how positive we can be as a group of 12. It's not just the 5 on the court, it's everyone else and all the staff. This tournament and this team right now are absolutely fantastic. I'm just so excited for the next 12 months really to see what we can achieve.
And I think that just shows so much. You see it on the court. Everybody's playing their role, but you've got players who, sometimes you need scoring off the bench. Sometimes it needs to be like the defense, but everybody's playing their role. And, if you're not getting on the court, we saw you yesterday, Siobhán, just like absolutely going wild on the bench when people were scoring. Everyone just seems like they're clicking really, really well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's what we've done a really good job of and built on throughout this tournament. It's just how our team flows together, both offensively, defensively, everyone involved, the words off the bench and how we all are with each other. And I think that's just got better and better throughout this tournament.
Yeah, and I think no matter what five on the floor, whatever rotations we bring on, whether someone plays 40 minutes or no minutes or has to be subbed off the last 2 minutes of the game, every single person is given 110% this week. And honestly, I'm so proud to be part of this team. The bench yesterday was ridiculous. And yeah, kudos to the girls that played and got the job done. But I think that the bench and the atmosphere and the staff had a huge part to play in that as well.
What do you think for you is the biggest difference between this team and the team that was at Worlds? Like, you've obviously had that experience relatively recently, a couple of months instead of like a year or so. What's sort of the biggest change?
I think the attitude that we've got right now is much better. I think, we're going in very competitive with every game. We're very focused on what we need to do, and we're sticking very well to a game plan, but also just kind of using that and building on that, and using the disappointment from Worlds almost as fuel to push ourselves. And I think just keep building. That's all we can do, and getting better as ourselves and progress over this tournament, but also into next year.
Yeah, and I think this group right now have started each game with the first punch. We've used that saying or phrase quite often throughout this tournament, and I think at Worlds we were often the team that received the first blow, and then we struggled to fight back. And I think this tournament has been a change of attitude, a change of mindset. Obviously the return of Robin and Laurie has been absolutely fantastic. They've started straight back into the team, and that's been a great asset for this group of girls. But also the girls that were out at Worlds have been able to have 6 weeks of pure, tough, intense training camps. Honestly, they've been hard days of pushing and drills that we've not really wanted to do, but the hard work's paid off, and I'm just so proud to be part of this team.
What does it mean, just for the program, for the team to be able to qualify for Paris like this? Like, after you say maybe a bit of a disappointing World, and with everything that Tokyo brought, the delays, just COVID was still quite rife, and all the challenges that brought. So what does it mean for you to be able to be saying, yeah, we're going to Paris next summer?
Honestly, I can't even really put into words how it feels. I think it was never in doubt. I think these girls, regardless of what happened at Worlds, always believed in each other and always knew that it was possible, and that we were not going to leave this tournament without the biggest fight that we could possibly do. And the fact that we were able to book that place now and go into the final with no pressure and just go out there and play and hopefully beat the Dutch. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal. And I think it's really close to home as well, so a lot of our families are going to be able to be out there. And obviously Tokyo is behind closed doors. We weren't able to have our families there, and they've played a huge part in this tournament as well. Both our parents are out here making loads of noise. My dad's driven out with a massive great big drum and a waistcoat. Slightly embarrassing, but honestly, all joking aside, without these guys, we call them the spare wheelers, because genuinely without our family and friends we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be successful. So yeah, can't wait for Paris when they're all in the stands.
And is it a case of almost like Tokyo finishes and then it's like, right, we have to look to qualify? Is it almost as soon as it's done, you're looking to the next tournament?
Yeah, very much so. I think with our sport, sort of the way that it runs, like there's not that much downtime sort of at all. Sort of, it's straight from domestic season straight into international season and then back to domestic season again. So I think you always have to be very kind of looking forward and looking onto what's next and how you can get better and how you can develop, but also just enjoying each of the opportunities, and I think just making the most of them as they go.
Yeah, and this team since Tokyo is completely different. The atmosphere, the vibes, the coaching staff, the support staff is completely different. And I just think that, we've used the negatives and learning points from that tournament and the COVID learnings and everything that this group of girls and the whole world went through to just fuel us. And I think the last 3 years have been really exciting. Worlds didn't necessarily go to plan, but I think sometimes tournaments like that are where you learn the most. And this group of girls now, honestly, watch out for Paris, because we're coming for you, and we're really hoping that it's a successful one for us.
And you look like a team that, whilst you're getting the job done on court, you look like you're having fun while you're doing it as well. Like there's a joy about the way that you're playing, and it's, for me as a fan, it's really fun to watch, and I feel like you can see how much people are enjoying playing.
Yeah, 100%. I think you've got to enjoy what you do. Our sport is so physical and so fast paced that you've got to enjoy that, and you've got to just throw yourself right in there, really. And I think you've just got to enjoy all the moments and all the experiences that you get.
Honestly, these group of girls, these 12, we spend more time with them than we do our own families. So to be able to support each other through the highs and lows, the personal good games, the ones that may not go so well, and now to be qualifying for Paris with a group of girls that genuinely, as cliche as it sounds, feel like sisters. We ups, downs, argues, shouts, crying, whatever. We go through it all together, and I think that's what makes it so special. And we have a great group of guys around us, you know, to make it all possible. With Miguel and Jorge joining us, our culture and our stuff that we've done off court as well as on court has been just as important and valued, which I think has been the massive difference with this team, is that we're able to spend time with each other off court and have a great time and then put it on court and just have fun as well as work really hard.
That's awesome. So Friday, it's the final against Netherlands, a team that you've come up against like a few times. You played them in the group stages, you've met them in finals before. They're in the home court essentially in Rotterdam. What's your approach going into that one?
I think playing the Dutch is always a challenge, and it's definitely going to be a battle out there. But I am so excited to get out there and just play basketball. Like, you know, we really want to win this game, but also we don't really have anything to lose in this. So I think it's just going in there, putting in together everything that we've been working on, everything that we've been building towards as this tournament's gone on. And I think we've just got to go and enjoy the experience. And I think that's the main thing going into this, just going in with a mindset to want to do well.
Honestly, the fact that they're on their home court fuels me even more. You know, we'll push out and we'll see loads of our wins, but we'll also see so many Union Jacks, so many supporters, and we know how many people are supporting us at home as well. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I think it's just exciting. We've already done the hard job of qualifying for Paris. Right now, tomorrow, we can just go out there and have fun. You know, we play basketball because we enjoy it, and I think tomorrow is going to be about that. We've got a really good game plan. We've got training to do tomorrow to hopefully go over some things. But yeah, I think each game we've played better and better and better. The game against them in the group stages, we were still holding things back, and I'm so excited to hopefully beat them when it matters most tomorrow.
And I think it's such a great advert as well for the sport. You know, two amazing teams, yourself and the Dutch. It's, you know, and because you have this bit of a rivalry as well, I think, you know, people want to see the best of the best, and that's what's going to be on display tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely, the best of the best, literally. And we've got some girls within the Dutch team that are playing over in our Women's Premier League as well, so we know them even more so than we ever done before. And I think that we are the rivals, and you know, we've always been the underdogs against them, and why not? Why can't it be tomorrow? I think they will put on a great game, and I think it's going to be a really, really tough game of 40 minutes. You know, it's going to be highs, lows, we're going to be up, we're going to be down, but be ready for us because we're going to give it our all.
And how have you found the tournament itself? Because obviously you had like 6 straight days. Is this your first day off actually since Friday? How's that been?
I think you know, it's always hard having back-to-back games like that, but also I think it's been really good for us in order to build momentum. You know, like whatever happens in one game in a tournament, you can never kind of dwell too long on highs or lows. You have to just keep moving on. And I think, you know, you take the positives from each game and you keep building on that. And things that didn't go so well, you know, it's a quick turnaround, but you can look at that and think, okay, what do I need to do next time? And I think that's what we've done over this tournament, and that's all you can do is just keep building and using the momentum hopefully in our favour.